people. Morning, everybody. Happy, powerful, strong Friday. Friday Producers Club, Producers Mindset. I have the pleasure to hang out virtually with the one and only Jason DuFault.
Yeah,
is out there in the field. A little bit about Jason. He's been doing this for for many years. Very diverse in his practice, and then currently is full gas, full speed on commercial mode. Jason is also the regional ambassador for the Keller Williams commercial in the entire coastal region. He runs a big practice out of the coastal office in our Long Beach, and is doing great things now and in the future. Jason, how's your morning going?
doing all right. Got our workout in, and it's a commercial fence right behind me, kind of apropos.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And it's not a Zoom's background. It's actual fence. So
Is it actual fence?
an actual fence. First question. First of all, congratulations. You just closed a nice one, a nice deal. Share some of the experience with us and how everything kind of went about.
Well, it was in Santa Fe Springs. It was a 102,000 square foot lot, right? Heavy manufacturing facility, and it was a lady who lost her husband and sold the business, and then we end up selling the the facility. We get a lot of our referrals from forensic CPAs and tax attorneys and things like that, and this came from an estate CPA that we team up with quite a bit, and we were able to actually get it to market. But we had one offer right out of the gate, and we went with that and closed it in about 4 or 5 months. And in a market that is changing drastically, we are so grateful that we were able to close this, because things have changed since we threw it on the market in April. So we closed on September 22nd, and just grateful to be able to get it done, and it was quite the experience.
100%. And I kind of watched you guys, how you manage and through the whole process. And we know that the commercial process in most cases could be more complicated at times, because it's the principal, the type of asset, etc. So yeah, 4 or 5 months, almost 5 months of escrow. There's a lot to take into consideration in the process.
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of moving parts. But right now, just because of the economy that we're in, and the cost of money has really affected many asset classes. And I don't think we're done seeing. I think we're just starting to see some of that happen now.
Yes. Yeah. Right. So tell us, you when you first started in real estate, what was your main focus on? Like, what kind of real estate?
My main focus was really just on learning the residential, coming out of financing, trying to learn residential, and as a career. I was an owner operator of apartment buildings, but I was selling single family homes, and that's where I focused. And then this kind of all led me to doing commercial. I mean, just we did a couple, here and there. And then I remember meeting with Meny and saying, I want to do this full time. And can I get your blessing? Would you mind?
Yeah.
So we just, that's, we started focusing in on that, it was kind of our happy. We thought we'd be better at that than the residential, more successful.
So what made you, what led you to that idea or self-belief that, hey, I kind of understand my style, my strength, or maybe what I want to focus on. Let me just go pursue only that. What led to that kind of mind shift?
Not hitting my goals in production in single family sales. and not being able to compete at the level that I wanted to in sales volume. And I was real frustrated. Like I just couldn't get any traction. We were selling homes. We had, we did some Fannie Mae stuff, and we did some bulk sale for portfolios and things, but never hit it stride. Our sales were kind of big because they were by referral, but they were too infrequent, and they weren't, $10 million deals. They were $1.5 million. And so we just weren't hitting the kind of income goals that we wanted. And we tried all different ways to sell it, like to do. We went through the MERA, and, it didn't work for us. And it just led me to this path, like, hey, I could do this because I know how to do it. But it
Right.
took me, it took me like, 3-4 years to figure that out.
Right. And kind of to transition the mindset systems, the practice, right? Fully.
Yeah, and then to learn about everything that was available to us in commercial, and where to find all the information, the mentors, and we had to kind of teach ourselves through the back end portion of what was available to us.
And that's another key point, right? Where one will understand, or in the specific case, you guys, you understood where you're at, and you made a big decision to completely change your focus on not on what industry you're in, it's the same industry, same office, right? But what you're going to focus on. And you said, I'm learning based, right? I want to learn. Let me seek to understand. It's not just I'm gonna cut corners or what have you. Let me seek to understand step by step and really rebuild myself properly.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And it was through the failures on the residential side that was the motivating factor to really get this right. And we knew it would take a long time. We knew that it wasn't going to happen overnight. We knew that our style was going to come from more business oriented referrals, the CPAs, the tax attorneys, the BK guys, some of the banks. And that was going to take some time. It was take a lot of dinners and a lot of coffees and a lot of just, introductions. And, we knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. And we didn't give up our residential stuff until like a year ago. And then 2 years ago, we really stopped just paying attention to the residential information, just what's going on. And, we keep track of some local stuff where we live, but yeah, that's all we focus on every day.
Exactly. So what kind of commercial you guys specialize or focus on right now? What kind of class assets?
So that's the interesting part about our business. So we focus, our clients are the CPAs, our clients are the attorneys, our clients are the auditing firms.
Oh, hold on, Jason, you got muted by mistake. Sorry.
Accounting firm that's going to help us do a lot of business sales, bulk sales, and they're going to do the accounting side, right? So that's our client. So that means the assets that we do are going to be a wide range. They're going to come at us from different angles. And if we have to bring in a specialist that we're uncomfortable with that asset class for, I don't know, like a farm or something like that, then we'll bring someone in to help us out and get that done. But most of the asset classes, basics, the office, multifamily, industrial, we can do. But those are our clients. And then we get referred to their clients. So we're just focusing on those firms and getting a database of those firms so that we can get that kind of referral that we feel that we're best suited for.
What made you, so basically what your practice is, you're going after gatekeepers, right? You're going after people that hold the database versus you chasing individuals. What made you or when did you realize that this is the strategy you want to go after? Is that like from the very beginning, or did you something happened in the way, like, oh, I need to go after that kind of professionals?
I think it just came down to our style, like what we're really comfortable with and where am I most effective. I was more effective with the group at a presentation of those people than I was cold calling on a particular asset class and getting to know the owners. Now we do that as well. We've got a database of owners and we mail out to and we've met over the years. But our real focus is just because it's just our style. And I forget the guy's name, but he was out of the Midwest and it was coffee and beer. It was his style. And he had like 40 people that he got business from. Well, we're kind of the coffee and beer guys. We like, go out and grab a coffee or a meeting or have a drink with someone and just casually have that conversation and grow it organically, but with purpose and focus, right? It was just better for us. And then we look back at all of our business, and all of our business was from referral. Wow. There wasn't one, you know? So that, I mean, that's our focus. And I keep telling you, I work with Scott Baker, and I keep saying, we really should get some more business from cold calling. We really should get some of that business. And then we look back on it, and sure as a day is like, we get 4 more referrals from these firms. It's like, no, not really. We just stick focus with this, stick focus with what we do best and what works for us.
Yeah, and I love, and that's a key sentence to frame right there, right? I know what I'm good at, and it works for me, and I'm gonna keep doing more of that, right?
Correct. I mean, we saw there was one time in residential, I saw someone preparing little pumpkins to pass out to their clients, in a neighborhood or in a farm. And I love the fact that people can pull that off. I cannot. I just didn't feel comfortable. So I didn't do that. I picked something that I can do well. Right. And so that's what we do. And we have really good conversations with some really high end guys and girls that really make a difference in our business for the years to come. Trusting us with portfolio evaluations that will finally bear fruit 2 years from the time we did it. I mean, those types of things. You have to have a lot of patience. I think one thing in commercials very important, because people talk about it all the time, about doing both. Commercial timelines can be 2 years out from the time you first get started. Escrows can be 2 years. I mean, you have to be financially disciplined and be able to last a long time without making any money. And that's very important for people to understand, because you can go flat broke in this commercial business if you don't have that discipline.
Spot on. The second part of it, where you must have the right mentors to show you the way as well. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I like to use the Tiger Woods as an analogy, because over the years he's had different coaches, and my question was always, why is he changing coaches all the time? Because his swing changes, his body changes, right? Well, we have mentors and coaching, and we graduate from one to the next because we're hitting different levels of production, and we need the next step up to get the help that we need now that was different than it was 2 years ago. And that's very important.
And again, hey, Kim, make sure that after this we're gonna actually frame those key sentences, right? Put them throughout the office, because like the one behind me over here, right? You see, what I'm hearing you saying is, consistent coaching is important, because it's not about what I know. It's about how I'm evolving, how I'm changing, right? And can be literally physically as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in our business, the physically is not as imperative, like if you're a professional athlete, but definitely mentally, definitely in the sense of how the market is changing, definitely in the sense of maybe I'm starting to get business from different kind of crowd, or like yourself, I want to focus on different type of crowd to get business, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just it's definitely always changing. This whole business, no matter what side you're on, changes all the time, and you just have to be paying attention. You have to be present. You have to be listening and asking good questions. I think this business has taught me how to be a better listener. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Sure.
I got an email this morning from Jay Papazan. Jay is the co-author of the MREA, the one thing with Gary Keller, and the concept was about the 5 steps to active listening. It goes by the acronym of SILENT. Sleep, not silent, sleep, right?
Yeah.
SLEEP, which is stop multitasking with your eyes, engage with questions, encourage non-verbally, and paraphrase and clarify, right? So you hit it once again that you have to be a good listener to understand, what's going on the other side.
Yeah, it's just really, really important because I don't remember when I was younger being a good listener. Or I guess I could phrase it, do you remember being younger and being a good listener? Right? I just don't. Not as good as I'm doing now.
Right. Well, it's a skill as well, right? That you're developing throughout the years, but yeah, you have to keep practicing as well. I think. Well, I think, Jason, I think you're frozen a little bit. Maybe you're changing from Wi-Fi to network. We see half of your face, half a nice sunshine. So give you a second.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, you're back. So here's a question for you. If someone wants to, I mean, first of all, you have a substantial practice right now in the team. If someone wanted to kind of reach out to you and ask you questions about whatever that is, first of all, are you looking to grow your practice? And second question is, what would you say to someone who's thinking about, I want to understand how to go to that route of commercial?
Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, sorry. There we go. Is that better?
Yes, we can hear you. Can't see, but we can hear you.
Okay. So if you're looking to get into business, I would say come see me and we can talk about it. I would say it's not just a hasty decision, and you can do a little bit of both, but you don't have to actively only do work for one person. You can work for yourself, but you got to have somebody to talk to and mentor yourself. And then you also have to understand, if you get into this, there's a very large cost to it just to sit at the desk every day. And that cost is something you have to really undertake and talk to your family. And, can you afford to sit and burn through a couple $1,000s a month while you're trying to get the business up and running? And that there's a lot of nuances to it. And I think that people need to be informed about it up front. We're always looking to grow our team, but it's always a question of the right person and what kind of work that they're willing to do. Right. But we're always open to that, and we're always more to help.
Yeah, I mean, it takes two to tango, right? I mean, it's not just about, hey, I'm going to show up and everything's going to happen for me, right? You have to be as hungry and eager as that person who might show you the way, right?
Correct. You definitely have to be eager. I hear a lot of people talk about doing the resi-mercial combo, and I think it's doable, but there's only a couple special people that can really pull that off. And then eventually you have to separate those two things into teams. You got to have managing a team that's going to be doing residential, and you're managing that, and that's all they focus on. And then you focus on your commercial and your team there, because the data and everything that you do is so different. You want to be really good at what you do. You really want to be good at it. It's very, very important because it's highly competitive, and there's a lot of collaboration, but there's also a lot of people that are, not very good at it. And, you want to make sure you're learning from the best.
Yeah, spot on. I think a lot of people get caught either time or shifting times or just not consistent, kind of business or what have you with just being busy. Like I just have to be busy doing stuff, and then you're kind of all over the place versus focus on one thing and think once again if you would successfully do one thing only over and over again, what kind of return you would get eventually.
Yeah, and like for commercial, we always thought that we were going to sit down and we were going to be like the multifamily specialist, and we were going to be, taking 20% of this market out of the gate because of our connections. And we had this idea. It was kind of an illusion that we had about what it was going to look like, and our business looks nothing like that plan. We had to adapt and change with what was coming our way. And I think that's the part that's the biggest lesson is it's going to look way different than whatever you thought it was going to look like. And you've got to be able to move and change to adapt to make room for that business that you didn't think you were going to get. I think Richard across the hall, Rich Rodriguez, he said it best. He said, all of a sudden I was doing an office lease and I had no idea what I was doing. And he had to get to a mentor and find out. But sure enough, he worked hard, and 10 days later he made $9,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to be willing to do. Exactly. And we're more than willing. Someone has a question or has a client or some sort of need. We're willing to help you get through it, and whatever it takes to help, because it is another way to make money. And you should definitely, if you're not doing it full time, you should definitely do it by referral as part of your business in 2024, because there will be opportunity in this market no matter which way it goes. If it goes the way of the calamity, there'll be tons of opportunity. And if it continues just to grow at a slow pace, there'll still be opportunity. Asset classes, I mean, the buildings never go to zero value. It's just ownership that changes, and that's it. Exactly.
Yeah, when people ask me, "Hey, do you do commercial?" I said, "Absolutely." What do you need? Oh, I need such and such. Like, sure, let me connect you with my commercial specialist for that specific asset, Jason DuFault, and we're gonna help you out, right? That's right. One line. I use this one liner all the time. And one of my agents, the biggest deal I remember with one of my agents was he had a residential client, right? Because this agent only sells residential. And this client told him, "Hey, do you know anybody who can help me selling this? I want to exchange this building, right?" Like, well, yeah. The agent said, like, I don't do that, but I have someone. And client exchange, I think it was like 80-unit building to something in Arizona. And between the two deals, it was 50 million deal. 50 million.
Right.
Resi agent got a nice chunky. I signed the check, so I know what the number was. It was a pretty chunky, nice referral. He didn't do anything. So back to what you say, Jason, you guys have to remember, whoever's watching now and later, that referring the business is as good as doing anything else. It is also a type of practice. I call it strategic partnership, right?
Yeah. Well, we do the same with residential now. Exactly. We refer it out, and it is one of the most fantastic things I've ever experienced, because I don't want any part of it. I don't want to give up my mind in that spot to figure out how to get it all done. And when the money comes and everyone's happy, and we didn't have to work on that particular, say, luxury home, because we just don't do that anymore, it was great. And we know the people that are taking care of us, taking care of our clients, and then the money just shows up. You know, $2 million homes. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I wanted to say real quick was, you know, we're growing as a commercial division, and we're providing now through KW Commercial in Austin, we're providing opportunities now to do business in every state. Now we have a system that we can do business in any state. And so if you've got clients outside the state that need help, we can help and make that happen, that's part of growing your business. That's part of saying, okay, now we're not limited to trying to onesie twosies outside the state to find the right person to help us out. There's a system in place now to make that work.
Spot on, yeah. And look at the chat. I put the link to our website. I mean, we're in Southern California. We're I think in California overall, we're the biggest commercial group within KW. KW Commercial SoCal. That's the identity of our group between our sister offices. With the amazing help and support and leadership of Jason, I mean, we just boomed the last few years. We grew this division to incredible numbers, you know. So definitely, you know, remember that when you look, your principles, right, Jason, like, you know, the buyers and sellers, some of them will also own businesses, or maybe know someone that owns a business of some kind, and maybe they need to get a new lease in a retail store. Maybe they need to buy a new building. Maybe they need to exchange something. Like, you can never know.
Mm-hmm.
We have to ask, and then yes, I have someone in my team that can help out with this, right?
Yeah, and it's always good to ask those questions and know that you have a team, and you should be responding that way. You should, you know, do you do commercial? We do. What is it that I can help you with? And then you have a team, and you can make it work, and you can make money, and those commissions will come in, and you'll know that the people taking care of it know what they're doing, which is really important for the percentage of closings that you need for those opportunities as well, you know.
Last question for you, Jason. Where do you see, like, again, what you're focused on right now, like from your point of view in your bubble, where do you see this market leaning into?
Well, it's weird because everyone that has boots on the ground, the brokers and the people doing transactions, think that the market's really going to be, let's just say, the calamity of losses in office buildings and so forth. But then when I look at the interviews with some of the smartest people in the nation, their opinion is that it's not going to be as bad as people think it would be. Nothing like 2008, because the financing is maybe expensive, but it's not exotic. And so I tend to lend into whatever happens. It's just about making sure that you know how to take advantage of those opportunities, whatever they are. So sometimes we have to pull a business plan off the shelf and blow dust off of it because we haven't used it in a while, but we're going to use it. And I think there's going to be opportunity for a lot of us that stay in, because there's a lot of people that have to get out because they're not closing things every 30 days. And that creates opportunity for us in the space because there's less competition, and even the competition that's there tends to be a bit better anyway. And just, you know, I think all that bodes well. It's the industry we picked, so I can't sit around and worry and complain about it. I have to be proactively grateful and look at whatever the opportunity is and where it is at.
Exactly. Yeah, be proactive, and I do think this is the best market to sharpen your skills, right? Adjust or readjust your focus on whatever it is that you need to do, and double down on your daily activities. The best market, right, to really do it right now.
Yeah, and I would say not only sharpen your skills, but even acquire new ones. What aren't you doing, and find one new thing you can add to your business for next year, and figure out how that's going to work. Ours is literally making sure that our database is clean with people that we want to do business with, not full of people that I just don't choose to do business with at all because it just doesn't work. And it's okay. The one thing I would tell you, the best thing I ever did was on our listing agreements. I put on there, either party can cancel this agreement with the 48-hour written notice at any time, which means that I can fire you and you can fire me. Right. And that might bode, a bit of confidence in us, but at the same time allows us opportunity to show that, hey, we don't mess around and we're serious about our business, and we'll give you the opportunity to let us go if we're not doing what we said we're going to do.
Yeah, and for me, it's simple practice. From a lot of people, they just don't grasp the attitude. But you basically set the tone to how I want to be treated and how I'm going to treat you, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it helps. It helps because when you're on the phone with people and you're like, this person's driving me crazy. You never thought there was an option to say no. There is. And once you say no to someone, the other opportunities, there's more room for those opportunities to roll in.
And it will happen because you set the tone of also your self-confidence that will guarantee you're going to keep doing what you're doing best and will attract the right people as well. I truly believe in that.
I've seen it happen and I've seen it actualized, and I am a firm believer in it. I have faith in the whole process. That's why we do it.
Yeah, that's why I do it well. Jason DuFault, keep driving safe. Thank you again for your precious time and for being a true leader in the commercial space, in our office, in our company, in our little community. Jason DuFault, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Prayers to you and your family.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Good to see you. Have a great, productive Friday.